not on, I don't think. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Scared me. I'm gonna move up here. Look out, I'm dangerous with the microphone and we're in church and I'm up here. I could get started, but I won't. Thank you so much for coming to our 22nd passing of the leash of one of our mobility assistance service dogs to a deserving and wounded veteran. I'd like to thank Miss Jane Salmon, our pianist, for getting us started this morning. How many of you are here for the first time? Every time I ask it, I'm just blown away. There's so many, so many. I'd like to ask my beautiful wife, Susie, to please escort down U.S. Army veteran James Radakovich, and those that know him call him Radar. So, today's recipient of our service dog, James. Now that you're seated, I'll ask you to stand for the national anthem to be followed by our Pledge of Allegiance. Mark, would you please? Please remain standing. Captain Bill. Captain Bill, he's going to get tired of me saying this, but I don't care. Captain Bill Robinson lives in Madisonville, and he spent 2,703 days as a POW in Vietnam. Captain Bill Robinson.
And salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My name is Mike Kitchens. I'm honored to serve as volunteer chair for, you can be seated now. As volunteer chair for Smoky Mountain Service Dogs. The passing of the leash that you witnessed today allows us to honor not only a deserving veteran and a wonderful, highly trained mobility assistance service dog that we'll present to that veteran, but it also allows us to honor all the volunteers that worked with this particular dog, our trainers, our donors, of which are many. I saw some folks from the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association here. Some, up in the back. Thank you for coming. Welcome home to all of you. As we proceed, I'd like to, many of you wonder probably, well, what does a service dog really do for these veterans? And to that end, we have Miss Lori Burt, but before we do that, I don't have my glasses on today, can you tell? I'd like to introduce, would the Smoky Mountain Service Dog Board of Directors please stand? worker bees all. We have Deb Schiaretto, Ramona Sims, Judy Hanley, Carla Werner, Larry Denny, Bill Taylor, Steve Reith, Jim Goyard, and Susie Kitchens. And we're a working board. And as an example I use a lot, Larry Denny, who used to fly A4s in Vietnam, now along with about 5 or 6 other guys, flies the zero-turn mower at the kennel cutting the grass. So thank you. Donors, goodness gracious, there's so many. I start down to acknowledge them. You know, we've just had a most incredible year, starting off with being named the recipient of the Chris Kyle Memorial Benefit in Fort Worth. And we've just built on that. It's been a wonderful year. And I can tell you, as you came in, you saw the schematic of our Smoky Mountain Service Dog Veteran Canine Training Center that we're going to build on our 10 acres. And we're going to build it. We're getting close. We're not all the way there. But I'm confident by the end of the year, we'll be where we need to be. And that's going to be just a great pleasure to be involved in that project. And it will allow us to essentially double the number of servicemen and women that we can serve. With that said, you know, I got upset last night. I stopped watching NFL for the obvious reason. And then last night I'm going to watch Michigan State and Duke play basketball. And I got upset again. Some of them clearly were jumping on the NFL bandwagon, no hands over the heart or any of that. So I just kind of started thinking, boy, it's a crazy world today. We're fighting to establish once again the patriot spirit of this country. And I thought back to earlier times and more simple times that I really like. So I'd like to share something with you right now that I just kind of thought was pretty cool. Mark, would you please?
Remember, this is my country and I'm going to do good for it. Just might work. We'll never know unless we give it a fair try. Oh yeah, and there's one other thing I'll say tomorrow because I say it every day of my life. God bless America.
And that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, wide with love. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
Remember when families used to watch TV together? It's a long time ago, and I know things have changed. I'd like to invite Lori Burt, who's our community events coordinator, and she handles, is he awake? She handles our wonderful canine ambassador, Hooligan. And for those of you that don't know what our service dogs do, Hooligan and Lori are going to demonstrate some of the tasks that we train all of our dogs to do. So with that said, I think you'll enjoy Mr. Hooligan and Miss Lori.
Good morning. I'm just going to get a little comfortable up here. Hope you don't mind. So this is Hooligan. He is 3 years and 8 months old. He's our canine ambassador. Come on over here, Hooligan. And these are just a couple of the skills that all of our dogs know, a lot of things that we teach them. We just can't demonstrate up here, but this is one I don't do a lot. It's because I can't always bend over. Hooligan, pull. Pull. Pull, I'm sorry. Got a little too close to the mic. Come on. Good job, that's a yes. So we'll do one more and then I promise I'll stop with the clothing. So you can see how that would be helpful to somebody that has a mobility impairment. Just assist a little bit in getting your clothing off. Shoe. It can also bring things to you. Shoe. Yes. So you'll see Hooligan comes to my treat pouch when I say the magic word, because that's how we train all of our dogs, using positive methods. Something else that's very handy when you're sitting in the room watching television, drink. Yes. Now, this is where the limitations of being not at home happen, but if we were at home and I said that, he would go to my refrigerator, open the door, grab the bottle of water, and shut the door, and then bring it over to me. So that's even more impressive when you're actually in a real home setting. Every time I feed him breakfast and dinner, he finishes his food, and without any word from me, he brings his dinner bowl, but because he hasn't just finished dinner, he's not really sure what to do, so I'll have to ask him. Bowl? Put it? Yes. So this is another thing that if you're sitting down and you've happened to have left your that across the room, he can bring it for you. Yes. And one more thing here, just because we do this a lot, but I think people never get tired of seeing it. You're at the cash register fumbling through your wallet to pay for the things that you've just, I'll move over here so these folks have a chance to see something. Yes. Thank you.
Stay right. Lori, would you stay right here? Susie, would you give me a hand here? You know, Lori and Hooligan, they have been so much help. You're looking at probably the best fundraiser we have here. Lori and Hooligan visit civic clubs and speak about Smoky Mountain Service dogs. So anytime I need someone like Lori with the dog, I just call her and she'll do whatever she's asked to do. And so at this point in time, we have something for you at Hooligan. Would you, Susie? It says, honoring Lori Burt and Hooligan as volunteers of the year for Smoky Mountain Service dogs. to talk a little bit about our recipient today, James Radakovich. We call him Radar. It's a lot easier than this Radakovich thing. But James served with the U.S. Army's 10th Mountain Division, the 19th Special Forces Group Airborne, 82nd RTOC Weapons Platoon, and as a National Guard sniper leader. He served as an infantryman, sapper, EOD, and a sniper. He had combat deployments to Kuwait, Iraq, Somalia, and Bosnia. So he's been there. He's done that. And Mark, would you please introduce, through the training camp video, James?
Hands, put your empty hands in mine. And scars, show me all the scars you hide. And hey, if your wings are broken, please take mine so yours can open too. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you. Oh, tears make a lot of scopes in your eyes. It hurt, I know you're hurting, but so am I. And love, if your wings are broken, borrow mine so yours can open too. 'Cause I'm gonna stand by you, even if I break it down. We can find a way to break through. Even if I can't find heaven, I'll walk through hell
Gosh, what a great job our trainers do. We've got the best trainers in the whole world, I'll tell you. They just are absolutely unbelievable. If you volunteer with Smoky Mountain Service Dogs, would you please stand? Thank you. Thank you. We have over 100 community volunteers that assist us in doing that. And I'd also like to introduce a wonderful I'm outranked today. I think probably the Marines in here are probably all outranked. We have with us today Marine General Robert Taboo and his wife Leo from over in Townsend. Would you please stand, sir? Thank you. And General Taboo was just named head of the Veterans Coalition for Randy Boyd, who's running for governor of our fine state. At this time, I'd like to invite Heather Wilkerson down, our Canine Program Manager.
All right. So, Jim, it's been a wonderful experience working with you the past 10 days. You've proven to be a man of great character. Your persistence and your determination, combined with your integrity, give us all confidence that you will be an amazing friend, partner, and leader for Summit. At Smoky Mountain Service Dogs, when we pass the leash to our veteran, we are opening our arms and accepting you into our family. A family that will always be here to provide you and Summit with support, love, and leadership. Service Dog Partnership is an amazing journey. We wish you, Radar, and Summit an amazing journey together. On behalf of my entire Smoky Mountain Service Dog training team, I proudly present you your official certificate of course completion. Best of luck and safe travels home today.
If you were one of Summit's handlers and volunteers, would you please come down front? This is where we begin to pass the leash of the dog. So Summit's handlers, maybe up here, I think, where we can see a little better, you think? And if the Mishniakis would be on that end. These dogs receive over the period of a couple of years 1,500 to 1,800 hours of training, and volunteers help assist us in socializing our dogs, puppy raising our dogs, respite fostering our dogs, writing grants, doing the kennel work, our bookkeeper. So other than our trainers, everyone else donates their time and efforts to do what we do. But I'll tell you, for Summit and for today, this is your all-star team right here. Cassie, Heather, and Susan, would you please escort Miss Summit down, please? Susan Shimwell, our lead trainer, Cassie Krause, our staff trainer. These dogs never forget. And we had a dog pick up a credit card off that floor. Joe, you and Karen may remain. The rest of you, thank you so much. We met the most wonderful group called Pull for Vets. and they shoot out at Oak Ridge. And they did a fundraiser called Pool for Vets, sporting clays and that sort of thing. And Billy Marshall, our Air Force double amputee, went out, and although he didn't bust them out, he did shot very, very well. And the result of that wonderful fundraiser, they recently presented us a check for $32,000. That paid for more than the entire cost to produce your dog. So at this time, I'd like to invite Richard Stouter and friends from Pool for Vets. If Joe and Karen would pass the leash of Summit to Pool for Vets. You can give one last kiss if you want to. I know you want to. Thank you. All right, James, you're going to get your dog. You probably beginning to wonder if you were or not, weren't you? Would you please come up?
This is a great honor for us today. I'm Richard Stouter from Pull for Our Veterans. This is Jim Maggard and Rick Andrews. We're part of the board of directors for Pull for Our Veterans. We've been around since 2012. We're just a bunch of people who want to do things to help veterans and their families. In those 6 years, we've raised $178,000. For the first 4 years, money went to the Wounded Warrior Project. And then last year, our money went to Honor Air Knoxville and to the Fisher House Foundation. And then when we were thinking about what we were going to do for 2017, Smoky Mountain Service Dogs was brought up by one of our board of directors, and we all jumped on it and said absolutely, because the reputation of Smoky Mountain Service Dogs had reached all of us. As I said, I'm a veteran. I'm a 30-year Army veteran. Rick is a Coast Guard veteran, but we're made up of a whole bunch of different groups. Jim Maggard's whole family is part of a volunteer team. His oldest son came home from college because he wanted to be part of our event in September. And his family is just like the supporters that we have. And so it is a great honor for us to then donate the money this year that we've been able to raise. And I'm hoping, it is my belief, and I've talked to both of these guys, and my wife is on the board of directors, we would like to support Smoky Mountain Service Dogs every year. And And so, without further ado, we'd like to thank James for your service to our country, everything that you have sacrificed, your dedication, your selfless service. And I know, being a dog lover, my dogs complete me. And I know that this dog will go a long way to help complete you. So, with that, we'll pass the leash.
Thank you, Joe and Karen. You okay, honey? It's not easy to look after these dogs for a long time, and then they understand where they're going, and they're happy to do it, but it's not easy. That dog will always have a piece of these hearts. If you'd just remain right here, James. You okay, buddy? We're not quite done with you yet. I'd like to invite Arliss and Joanne, representing the Tellico Village, and Jenny. Carol. The 3 out of 4 is not bad. Oh,
James, on behalf of the Village Quilters, I'm honored to be here today to share in your passing of the leash and also to honor you and thank you for your service. We do that by giving what we call a civilian award, and it is a quilt of valor. And it's made specifically in a patriotic way, and it's labeled as such with a certificate. And we're just 4 days out from Veterans Day, so happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service to all that are here, but mainly to you, James. And we'd kind of like to make every day Veterans Day, and I believe we'll do that with this quilt because we believe every stitch is a hug and a thank you. So as you use it, remember that from us to you.
thank you. I don't know how many quilts that is, but it's probably getting to be 25 or 30 for our group and friends. I'd like at this time, those of you that have been here before know Bob Underwood, who does a hand-carved eagle cane for each of our recipients. I call him a whittler. He corrects me every time and says he's a woodworker. But he could not be here today. But James, you're going to receive, it'll be mailed to you, the most wonderful commemorative eagle cane from Bob Underwood that will have your military insignias and information on it. And at that, I'd like to invite Ken up. We have
James, I make these crosses, and please be assured that this cross represents the love of everyone in this room today, but more importantly, the love of God. Thank you for your service, and please accept this from all of us.
Thank you. James brought and has donated for our new Veterans Canine Training Center the most beautiful, beautiful thing. Would you like for me to try to explain it, or would you like to? You correct me. James is a friend of the Kyle family, Jeff and Chris Kyle, and James was putting together this rifle for the father of a veteran that lost his life in service to our country. And if I may read the bottom, it says, you have, this is to Mike, Mike Buys. You have sacrificed more than most. Your son is a hero and will not be forgotten, as he presented that rifle. And it's signed by Chris Kyle. He's donating that for our Veterans Training Center. Thank you so much. I hope I got it pretty close.
I want to thank everybody for being here today, and I really want to thank the Smoky Mountain staff for stepping up and helping me and other veterans. I got involved and met Smoky Mountain through the Kyles. I was putting that rifle together and I couldn't find a receiver, and I called a friend and he said, call Chris Kyle, and I was like, I don't know Chris Kyle. And anyway, long story short, Chris stepped up, got the receiver from Stiller Actions in Texas. We put the rifle together. Chris signed some books, and these photos, that same photo is up at Leopold and Stevens that donated the scope for the rifle. So that's in their award case, and I wanted this to be in the kennel. Chris isn't with us anymore, but you guys live up to just what Chris told me. He signed the book and he said, Radar, it's our job to serve those who serve us. And that's exactly what Smoky Mountain does. So my hat's off to you, and I'm going to take good care of Summit, and we'll be back here shortly. to visit and possibly move out here.
Thank you. James likes Tennessee. So we promised we'd leave the gate open. There's always more room for one more. At this point in time, before we have a closing prayer, we'd like to introduce you by video to all of our Smoky Mountain Service Dog recipients to date. This is number 6 this year. It's a huge task to prepare and present one of these dogs. We're very proud of the year we had. We've just been so blessed, and in the future we're going to be able to serve more. So Mark, if you would kindly introduce the group to all of our recipients.
I've been a walking heartache, I've made a mess of me. The person that I've been lately ain't who I wanna be, but you stay here right beside me and watch as the storm blows through, and I need you. 'Cause God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt, and for when I think I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. Gave me you. There's more here than what we're seeing, a divine conspiracy. That you, an angel lovely, would somehow fall for me. You'll always be love's great martyr, and I'll be the flattered fool, and I need you. God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt, and for when I think I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. On my own I'm only half of what I could be. I can't do without you. We are stitched together, and one love has tethered. I pray we never undo. 'Cause God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt, and for when I think I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. Gave me you. He gave me
Quite the journey we're on. Jim Goryard.
Good morning, everybody, especially the first timers. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, now you get a sense of why we do what we do and how we do it. And hopefully it brings as much pleasure to you as it does to us, because as Mike is fond of saying, for all of the volunteers in the organization, this is our payday. Mike keeps giving us more tasks, and he keeps doubling our pay, and we keep saying, 2 times 0 is, it's still 0. So this is our payday, James. Thank you again for coming. In closing, in the fabric of America, they are the toughest threads, our bravest, and most selfless. They raised their right hands, stepped forward, and served for each other, you, and me. One of the first things they learned was the code that every service member lives by. Leave no one behind. It's now our turn to live by this code. For what matters most is that we are there for them, just like they were there for us. We hope and pray, James, that in some small way, this magnificent Smoky Mountain Service Dog Summit honors that code, to leave no one behind. Amen.
That concludes. We're probably done for this year. We'll keep working. We're going to be spending a lot more time and energy on the development of our facility over there. We've done the core drilling, and that comes back clear. We're getting ready to meet with Morton Buildings. It'll be a wonderful, wonderful, classy Morton building, and we'll finish out the inside, and it's going to be exciting to see that happen. We bought that 10 acres in 2015, paid it off in 2016, and we will continue to be blessed. I'm sure we're going to keep doing what we're doing, and we've got the right team assembled to do it. So Godspeed. Have a great day. We appreciate you, and we appreciate your support, and just take care of yourselves, and we'll continue to take care of folks like Radar. Thank you. God bless.